And Dracula's gonna be your buddy.
I love it.
Good boy, Dracula. So I guess you know what? I should start by filling everyone in. I've got a little story to tell here at the beginning because there's supposed to be a third person. You're holding a dog right next to you.
I am holding it up very,
There's
very, very tenderly.
there's supposed to be an Australian next to you, and instead we have a German Shepherd.
They're...
Shim, we swapped you out. You didn't make the cut.
Sorry, bud.
Yeah. So we orchestrated. Shim, myself, and you orchestrated this whole trip really to coincide with this right here. We wanted the three of us in the same room
Yeah.
because 3 years ago or 2 years ago, I don't know.
3 years ago.
Yeah, we were
2022. It's
Yeah.
2025, dude.
we were doing the math on it. We were hanging out here in this room, and Shim just happened to be here. You just happened to be, whatever it was, the stars aligned. It was like,
Yep.
come over to my house. I got these kits I need to do some gear videos for, and it's like, let's just jam around and see what happens if we write some songs or something.
Yeah.
And at that time, I only had it was the end of COVID, so I had sold everything just about. We had one microphone, we had the kit, and there were only 2 or 3 channels on the interface. So like bass plugged in, guitar plugged in. It's the reason why there's not a whole episode of like what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Because we did it. We recorded a few songs. It took like 20, 30 minutes. We just slammed through stuff in a single play. It was one of those like
Yeah.
perfect moments. I was like, shit, we didn't capture any of it.
We wrote quite a bit too. Yeah.
Yeah, we wrote some cool stuff. It all just came together, but it was like, man, there was no footage. There was no multiple microphones and lights and just all the things. So
Yeah.
afterwards, I was like, okay, that was really cool. How do I do that all the time?
Yeah.
So,
Dude,
that's what.
I love that. That's what inspired what this has grown into.
Yeah,
It's
man.
pretty rad.
It was the impetus for building all of this, and now we're in full swing.
Yeah.
So the whole point was the homecoming event. We haven't done this in like the full setup yet. So like, yeah, let's get Shim and Keynon in here, and we'll do it right
At the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
And then
yesterday, or I guess it was technically 2 days ago, when we got the news, but nothing bad. But the government has been shut down here in the States for several days. This is for everyone at home. So now I'm catching you up even more. Shim had to go home because he's been stuck here before where the border was closed on his side. The Australian government closed his border. So he
Yep.
got stuck here for 5 weeks
dude.
back in
What
2020.
are
And
the chances?
that was expensive.
Yeah.
That was an expensive thing to happen to him, to
Oh,
be
for sure.
gone for that much time.
Yep.
So when we found out that 5,000 flights have been canceled already,
Mhm.
and he was flying out, I think tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it was just like every day they're cutting 50% more of the flights.
Yep.
So he was like, I'm getting on a plane. I'm getting out of here.
I gotta get home.
I'm making sure
Yeah.
he's coming back in January. So he'll be here again for NAMM.
Okay.
And you know, we have a show on, I think, the 31st in Omaha, and then we're doing some other things.
Dope.
But so we'll do this again.
Okay.
But unfortunately for this trip, it just, man, it didn't work out.
I know.
You know?
I know. And I think you told me that Shim had gone home, what, today?
Yeah.
When I was driving home from my gig this morning to pack up and basically get back on the road to come out here, you're like, hey, so everything will proceed on your part as we had planned it, but this small thing has changed, and that small thing was Shim had to go home. So
Yeah.
I mean, stuff happens. It's fine, dude.
It is what it
I'm
is.
glad to be here. It's been too long. It's been way too long.
Yeah, man.
I should be here at least once every 3 or 4 months. But
Well, that's how we're going to do it now. So Shim, he'll be out here. We haven't set like any kind of time frame for it, but I imagine every 2 to 3 months.
cool.
We'll come out here and we'll film as many of these as we can to
Yeah.
offload over the weeks and months until the next one.
Yeah.
You know, the next
Yeah.
time that we do it,
Love
and
that.
then eventually we're gonna take the show out on the road. We got big plans, dude.
Yeah, man.
It's gonna be awesome.
I dig it. I'm excited. I'm always excited to be a part of it, even though I feel like I don't get to be as involved as I would often like to be. But I love watching you guys. do
Well,
your
you're
thing. It's
busy.
awesome.
You're busy out there making money and being
Just being
busy.
Yeah.
Meaning other people are asking for you, and
Mm.
that's the important thing.
Well,
You know?
I enjoy it, and it's what pays my bills and feeds my kids, and it's fun. But that being said, there's always a part of me that every time I see you guys, I get a little bit like, damn, I wish I was there.
Well, the feeling is mutual, man.
Yeah.
And so Shim will be joining us to an extent. So we've got a couple of sessions planned the next few days. We got a sick keyboard player named Alfred Shepard who's going to come in. You've worked with him
I
before.
have. Yeah, I'm excited, dude. He's, what a badass, dude. He's amazing.
Yeah, so Shim's going to be able to remote in for some of those. He'll hang out a little bit and give us some of his thoughts, but yeah, unfortunately we can't get him in the room. But that just means I get to turn him on in the tracks.
Yep.
I get to turn his voice and his guitar on, and he doesn't ever sing flat
He'll be
or
perfect.
out of time. So I'm just saying, for the audience, you guys are actually getting like a better experience.
Yeah,
I'm not lying.
That's hilarious. I love that. Yeah, he'll be perfect the entire session.
He's gonna sound great.
He's gonna sound so good.
The rest of us,
subject to
we're gonna do
change,
best.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do our
It
best.
could change.
What
for
have
sure.
you've been playing a lot, and I know that you've been playing a lot because like I'll send you text messages and you won't get back, and it doesn't mean that like, oh, he doesn't like me.
I'm sorry.
I'll just look at, oh, he's in Japan. He's
Yeah.
in the Middle East. He's in a
Yeah.
place where my text messages probably aren't getting to him.
Yeah.
So WhatsApp, Instagram, but
Yeah,
like you've
yeah.
been all over the planet, dude.
I
Where are you
have.
going?
I've been well, let's see, this year we did we did Qatar at the top of the year, straight into Dubai. We did Vietnam in the spring, and we did Qatar again in September. And then in between that, we've just been jumping.
Japan.
Japan was last year. We did not do Japan this year, which I was bummed about because we've done Japan 3 years in a row prior. And it didn't come through this year, which was a little bit of a bummer because I love Japan. Shout out to Tower Records Shibuya.
Yeah.
One of my favorite spots. Shibuya.
Shibuya roll call.
But yeah, we've been all over the place, and I think we've done close to or exceeding 40 dates this year. With one of the bands that I play with, and then I have like an original country band. We just put out a record, so I work with them.
So the We that you're talking about, for anyone who doesn't know, the We is with who?
24 Karat Magic, which is a tribute to Bruno Mars.
So 40 dates around the country. There's only 52 weeks in a year, right? So even if it was one a week to get in an airplane once a week with a tribute band and go all around the world,
which is basically what it adds up
dude.
to. Yeah, it adds up to about every weekend we're in an airport. Actually, this past weekend I was not in an airport, and it was strange.
So there's only 10 weekends total that maybe you
throughout the
in an
year,
airport,
and 5 of those have to do with like family members' birthdays.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like I'll take time off or something like that. But yeah, I've been very busy, very grateful for that. I mean, this is what I've always wanted to do. I consider it a blessing that I have,
of course,
a skill set that people desire, and
some people work for a living.
Yeah, dude. You know
That's what I tell myself.
Honestly, like no matter how bad the day gets, it's like I'm still playing drums for a living. This is not that bad.
It gets worse.
It can be a lot worse, and I'm very grateful for that. There are times where it does feel like work and strenuous and conflict and whatnot. We all have those days, but overall, dude, it's so much fun. I really enjoy it.
It's funny too. Like we were just having dinner downstairs. This is at my house, by the way. If anyone doesn't know, we're on the second floor.
Freaking coolest studio. Like I don't know if you out there in Watcherland, I don't know if you've seen Jayme's studio set up like a 360 spin or something like that. But
I've done a couple of tours, but not recently, not in a few years.
You should, man, because I mean it's changed so much even since the last time I was here. Because I think the last time I was here, you had like a whole video wall or something like that set up. There was some other stuff that was going on, and it's how much. It's morphed every time to fit your need, and that's what I like.
Well, because, so to back up for a second, we've been actually doing this for 3 years. It's not like 3 years ago we did a thing, and then I sat on the sidelines waiting. We never stopped doing this, but every time I did it, it's like, it's not ready yet.
Tweak it, yep.
Yeah, and so then like a couple months would go by, Shim would be here, he wouldn't be here. He wasn't like signed on to the project in the beginning. We didn't join forces until maybe 6-7 months ago. So up until then it was just like me doing this on my own, bringing people over, and every time I would do it, it's like it's just not right yet. I need more mics. This was buzzing, that doesn't look cool, the lights are too dark, it's too this, it's too that. So for years it was like it's just not there yet. And I'm not made of money, and I don't take out loans, so I go slow.
I love that, dude.
I have to do everything slow.
That's the right way to do it, though, because when you do it slowly, you do it correctly.
You do it correctly,
Ultimately, the end product ends up being what you envisioned instead of just what you were able to do at the time.
Yeah, and also, yeah, you don't end up making mistakes with zeros on the end. That really sucks. I've done that a few
Very much
times.
so, and interest attached to
Yes,
it.
I've done that a few times. So, and especially like, yeah, I mean, it's an internet business, so nobody's paying for this.
Yeah.
There's no upfront anything.
Mhm.
So it's like, yeah, man, I'm not taking out tens of thousands of dollars to buy a bunch of cameras and lenses and this and that. Like, I'll just let it come.
Yeah,
I'll let it happen. I'll let it build
absolutely.
over time. So now, like, we officially launched September 22nd is when the first song came out, and we've been doing an episode a week.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, now it's in full swing.
What was the first tune?
Stowaway.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was one. I played drums on it. Actually, I did
Nice.
everything
Dude, you
except for the guitar solo.
it's wild.
Phil X did the guitar solo.
Phil X did that. I
Yeah,
mean,
I couldn't do
no
that.
big deal. Phil X did
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's kind of that's
Yeah.
freaking
Well, actually,
rad.
sad thing. Jason did the first guitar solo, and Jason did very good
Of
too.
course he did. Yeah,
But
I love Jason.
then I got Phil X to agree to do a song, and I had to call my brother. I was like,
You got bumped.
You got bumped, dude. But
You
here's the
got
thing.
bumped.
Here's the thing. You got bumped by Phil X. So like,
Yeah.
I didn't kick you for anybody.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, I had to do it.
Sometimes you're gonna get bumped, man. It
had to
happens.
do
And
it.
if you're gonna get bumped, it better it be by,
Yeah.
Phil X.
But you know what's funny? So my brother and I, we did a whole session of like a guitar solo and then just two spots where there should be a lead.
Okay.
The interlude going in and then like the outro just
Yeah.
like playing over the top.
Yeah.
So Phil, when he agrees to do the song, I just cook him for a chorus, a solo. Like, that's it. Can you give me a solo? That's all I need, man.
Yeah.
Totally. And then he calls me back. He's like, hey, dude, can I do something on the interlude and also on the outro? Like the same parts that I worked out with Jason. I was like, yeah, of course you can.
Yeah.
Send me anything. And if I can't use it, fat fucking
chance.
you
Yeah.
got, right? But like, if I can't use it,
Exactly.
I can just mute it.
Yeah.
And so what he sends me back, like I call Jason, my brother, when I get the stuff from Phil, because by the way, like as a session musician, there's a difference between like a me and a Phil,
Mhm.
between fill in the blank and Kenny Arnoff,
Oh,
or like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? There's a
Oh, yeah.
difference because, and here's what the difference is. Jason and I mean, we're accomplished players,
Mhm.
and we sat there for an hour and we got exactly what we needed.
Yeah.
Phil X sent me one email and that was it.
Yeah.
There were no notes. I didn't send him back and go, oh, dude, that was great.
Yeah.
Can you do this? Can you
Yeah.
fall into it? Can you land on the two? Because
Mhm.
that's usually how it goes, right?
Yeah, of
Like
course.
with session players, there's like, you have to tell them what to do and they're not very good.
Yeah.
And then there's like the echelon where it's like, yeah, whatever they do, it's pretty good, but you got to coach them and,
Mhm.
like we'll get apart together. And that doesn't take longer than an hour. I just told you, me and Jason did it. Phil did it in 30 seconds. He sent it over and I was like,
This is it.
that's perfect.
This
That's
is it.
That's all I need to do. I don't need to change anything,
yeah.
right? And so that for me was the first like wake up call of like, that's the difference
Mhm.
between your Pino Palladinos and your Kenny Arnoffs and
Yeah.
your Steve Lukethers.
Yep.
It's not just getting it right the first time. It's like no notes.
There's nothing else that could have been done here.
Yeah, I
This is
wouldn't
what
tell you to
needed
change
be here.
anything.
Absolutely.
This is what had to happen.
Absolutely.
And so I called my brother and I told him that. But then I was like, dude, you know what's funny though is the things he did weren't that different from what you and I came up with. Like we put a thing in the right spot.
Yeah.
He just played it right.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Like we got
Yeah.
92% of the way there. He got
Yeah.
100.
Like right
He
away.
didn't try that hard either.
No.
You know what I mean?
Didn't take him an hour.
Yeah, and it's like that's why if you want to pay the top guys, if you want to have the best of the best, that's part of what you're getting. It's not just the name and it's not just the notoriety or like the ability and the skill set, but it's also like how much instruction do you need to give them?
Yeah.
How much hand holding and
Yep.
how much do you need to talk and how much back and forth? And with guys of that echelon,
Not much.
it's zero. And
Yeah.
I've never, I don't want to say never, but I almost never have those kinds of sessions myself where it's like, oh, that's perfect. I don't need to touch anything.
That's it. I got it. Yeah.
There's always notes.
Yeah. All the time.
But
I think we all aspire and aim for that. Can people get there if they're not there already? Or is this just something that you have out the gate?
you know what?
I've always wondered that.
I think I think it is a skill that you develop, but it's one that you develop if you're lucky enough. Because all it is it's listening.
Mhm.
It's listening and then guessing what should happen next.
Yeah.
So I tell everyone like the same skill that makes me a great musician makes me really annoying pretty much everywhere else. Watch a movie with me.
Yeah.
Watch a movie and I'm just like, she did it. She
Yes.
did it and he paid him,
Same.
right? Like, I'm just trying to figure out
Same.
the plot
Dude,
before it comes out, and
how
I'm usually
funny.
not wrong. I'm usually
Deductive
not wrong.
reasoning, which
Yeah,
there is musical deductive reasoning as
yeah,
well. I can sit down and play a song on drums that I've never heard,
right.
never played with anyone in the room, never met anyone in the room, and probably nail it to like a 90 percentile.
Because it's not that much different from ba 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 da ba.
But like
Like, you
you
know what it
know
is.
what's gonna
There's
happen.
only 20 of those.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe 100 if you include, like, every genre of music ever.
Sure, but after you've learned 1,000 songs in your
You've
repertoire,
got them.
you've got
You've
them.
got most of
You've
them.
got yeah.
And like, when I say, like a movie, there's not that many. There's Cinderella,
Mhm.
right? There's the Liam Neeson, "You fucked me over, now I'm gotta kill you,"
Good luck.
right? Like,
Yeah.
the Rambo, like, there's
Yeah.
not that many movies. It's a revenge
No.
movie, it's a
Yeah.
creature feature.
You know what I realized the other day is television. Television is all the same stuff. It's either sitcoms with groups of friends or family.
Mhm.
It is police drama, detective drama, or medical drama. Very, very
Pretty
few
much it.
variations outside of that. You have like sometimes the horror spinoff or something like that. But I
Mhm.
can't think of many of my favorite shows that don't fall into those very specific categories. And music is a lot of times the same way.
Yeah, and so, when you're playing a song and you're playing it well
Yeah.
and you don't know it, what you're really doing for anyone who, like, doesn't know music or because that's the cool thing about this show. It's obviously it's a heavy musician audience, but also just, a music fan
Hmm.
audience, obviously. We get both of them.
Yeah.
But so if you're not a musician, most of the time when you're playing, I'm just guessing, I think this comes next.
Yeah.
I think this comes next.
Yep.
And if I'm not correct, I'm correct enough to where I could just tweak it a little bit. And it's like, oh, that's the evil stepsister. It's a stepbrother this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I was still right.
got it. Yeah.
It's just we just have to. It's a gender swap. It's
Yeah.
a race swap. Whatever. Like,
100%.
okay, that's the character type that I was expecting to see.
Yeah.
You know.
Funny enough, I did a gig last night in Beverly Hills that I got called for on Friday afternoon. And this was
Today is Sunday.
today is Sunday.
Yeah.
So last night, Saturday night, I was in Beverly Hills. I got the call Friday, and this is for like a very, very high end wedding and wedding band. And their drummer needed a sub. And I've worked within the company, but I've only played with this band once.
Mm.
And I got thrown into this situation where I had to learn a few songs that I hadn't heard before. Right, I had to do a little bit of homework. They sent me some charts and stuff like that. But the majority of it I had played before, even though going into the gig there were all kinds of mashups and transitions and things like that. But I felt like I did a pretty decent job of guessing where things were going to go, just based on the experience
Yeah.
of like. And I really enjoy those seat of the pant gigs. I feel like we've talked about that before. I really enjoy the gigs where I kind of walk in not knowing a lot of what's
Yeah.
going to happen
I
and
call it a
being able
potential train wreck.
a potential train wreck, but
Yeah.
there's something so exhilarating
Yeah.
about never letting it happen.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like
Well, it's not going to.
it's not going to.
Everyone on
Yeah.
the stage is good enough to avoid that from happening. But
Yeah.
because of circumstances, or we got too many subs, or there wasn't rehearsal time, or whatever it is, it's like, oh yeah, there's a chance this might not go.
Yeah.
There's a chance that light at the end of the tunnel is an oncoming train.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's possible.
Dude.
Yeah,
It's
let's
always fun. Let's
go.
go. And
Let's
it's
go.
exciting. It's exciting.
Uh-huh.
And the whole time, a couple members of the band were like, "Are you doing okay?" I'm like, "I'm having a great time. Like
Yeah.
this is fun. This is fun for me. I enjoy this part of the process of getting to flex my musical chops to figure out what's going to happen and figure out what I need to do to complement
Mhm.
the music or to create a transition or coming out of a disco and suddenly they're like, oh, we're gonna go into this high energy dance thing and okay, how are we gonna bridge that? 1, 2, 3, 4, go.
And
And
so
here we go.
that's the thing when you're like, so can you learn that?
Hmm.
Or do you just have that? Can you develop a Phil X?
You do develop that.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, like, yeah, if you've been lucky enough to have lots of gig opportunities where you've had a chance to make those decisions, like, yeah, sure. Or if you've just studied enough and played enough things and taken enough good notes, like,
Hmm.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But like, if you're what's the word I'm looking for? Like, if you're at the top of your game, nobody challenges you, and you're just one of those that, like, big fish, small pond. Whatever
Yeah.
the thing is, where it's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, there's no challenge, and you just kind of do the same thing over and over and over
Hmm.
again. Like, well, you're kind of gonna stay where you are,
Yes.
And I think a lot of people that say they have talent or natural ability or whatever, it's harder for them to get to that point of super mastery,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because that takes like
Yeah.
one more level of introspection, or like I said, just luck. Like you've had some really cool gigs, and you paid attention.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like if you don't pay attention, if you're not asking questions, and if you're not going, what can I do to like serve this moment or
Mm-hmm.
transition this thing? If you're just going like, here's what's on the record, and I play those parts,
Yeah.
you're always going to be one of those.
I think
You
there's
know.
such thing as being like bulletproof on the gig.
Mm.
Like you have a confidence that comes from being tried and true
Yeah.
of just being able to walk into any situation and to recreate a positive result regardless of the variables. And I
Hmm.
think that that's probably what's important. I joke all the time that like I mean almost any run of the mill high school student these days is an incredible player, right? And that's not to take away from whatever professionalism that they have, but the reason that professionals are getting paid to do what they do is because they're getting paid to recreate the result in the midst of conflict or changing situations. Hey, can you walk into this situation where you don't have great monitors? You don't have great backline. You just got the charts last night, or
Yeah.
you never got any charts at all. I mean, I've driven to Santa Barbara from Southern California. It's a 3-hour drive and never got a set list
Hmm.
and drove up there and played the gig and just watched the MD keys player for hits and stops and again by the seat of your pants. So can you recreate a positive result through those variables? I think that that is usually the tell.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah, for sure. And how many tricks do you have up your sleeve? And
Two fills. I
yeah,
got two fills.
that's all you need.
I got a Pat Boone, Debbie Boone, and I got a bucket of fish. That's
Well, yeah, you do what you got to do. But yeah, these days, those are the shows that I enjoy the most.
yeah.
If it's cushy and it's easy, man, anyone can do that.
Mm,
I want something that's going to be a challenge.
yeah.
You know, and that wasn't always the case. I was a very prepared uh, performer, and you know what? The way I look at it different, like very distinctly, up until 2019, I was a performer. I performed music.
Hmm.
I play music now. There's a difference.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, by the way, just in case anyone decides that they want to take issue with what we're saying, I am in no way saying that you should not prepare for a gig if you have the opportunity. If you have ample time and resources to prepare for something, please do prepare.
Of
Please do
course.
your homework. I think what we're talking about is more so like the emergency situations or the less than.
Or just knowing your skill set and your value. Value. I mean, it's literally no different. I was thinking of this today. It's like if you were to leave the house,
Hmm.
right? And imagine you didn't bring any cash with you.
Hmm.
You gonna be okay? You're like, well, I got my wallet, I got my debit card, my credit card, I got Apple Pay, Google Pay. Like, I'll be
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
But what if like you go to a place and like they only take cash? You're like,
I'll go somewhere
I'll
else.
be fine, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're not worried. Now, if you
Yeah.
have like $0 to your name,
Hmm.
your credit cards are maxed out, you're back 3 months on rent,
Hmm.
and you leave the house without any cash and no wallet. I mean, well, of course, you're in a different set of circumstances. You should be worried
Interesting.
because you might get repoed.
Yeah.
You might get back and your locks are changed. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
there are some things that you need to worry about because you didn't have enough money in your account.
Hmm.
I know how much money is in my account, and I know that where I'm going, we'll be fine.
It's gonna
As
be
long,
okay.
as
Yeah.
long as like I don't have to buy a Lamborghini all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Like I don't have that kind of cash on hand. But you know what I mean? Like for most things, right?
Yeah.
Like we'll be fine.
Yeah.
If I have to buy you out of bail, man, we're in Vegas. Like we're cool.
It's
They
gonna be
got
fine.
signs
Yeah.
everywhere.
I'll gamble some
I
bail
got
money up. It's
numbers
gonna
I
be
can
great.
call, dude. We'll get you out. It's all good. But you know what I mean? Like it's literally that kind of thing. Like I don't need to empty my life savings, bring
Hmm.
my cash, and get a bunch of cashier's checks every time I leave the house to go buy groceries.
Yeah.
I'm just going to buy groceries. I'll be okay.
It's gonna be fine.
And if I forgot my wallet, I'll drive back and I'll be there. Like so like musically, like yeah, you have a cash reserve.
Hmm.
You got a musical cash reserve where you're just like, I'll be fine.
It's gonna be great.
If I
Yeah.
have to borrow, if I have to move things around, like it'll be okay. I'm not worried about going there and getting stuck or getting stranded or having
Yeah.
no way. I don't know how I'm gonna get home. I'll be
Dude,
fine.
in
I
terms
think I'll
of
be fine.
working musicianship, 90% of your work only requires 10% of what you know.
Say that again.
90% of your work only requires 10% of what you know.
Yeah, maybe less, maybe single
Maybe
digit.
maybe
Yeah.
single. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Really. I mean, like very, very rarely in the gigs that pay my bills am I having to stretch very far.
I would say honestly, it's more like what you know influences. It's like that 10% of what you know in the moment is just going to influence you, that gut feeling of what do you think's coming next.
Yeah.
You know, and it's also like even when you know the songs and we're doing the same set night after night, the bands that then level up aren't just playing to the same tracks. They're looking out at the audience and they're trying to create moments and they're looking for ways to level up the show.
Very much so.
And it could be something as simple like I've played with bands before where I'll just be like, guys, cowboy boots. There's cowboy boots in the audience. You guys see it? We're playing Texas tonight.
Yeah.
So all the solos tonight, let's go twang. Chicken picking. Instead of rocking out that one solo, I want you to go to a train beat.
Yeah.
Like, let's do it. Did you see how many cowboy boots and cowboy hats? Trust me.
Let's get them.
Trust me. It's kind of country. And it's a metal band. It's supposed to be like a metal solo, but guys, trust me.
This is gonna be
Let's
great.
country the solo on this one, and it brings the house down.
Also, something what you said, like to being able to trust the musicians that you're playing with too. Even if you've never really worked with them before, if you can establish a quick rapport with people, like the first session that you and I ever did together,
with
Kellyanne, we sat down and within 10 seconds of just goofing around a little bit, me on the kid and you on the bass, it was like, okay, we are musically in a romantic relationship immediately. Like this is where it is, and you can set a vibe with someone that quickly, where you're just like, oh yeah, we're gonna get along great, and then from that point you are able to influence each other with the musical decisions that you make for the rest of the night. And that might be maybe the bass player plays with this band and you don't. They can help you with some of the form structure and stuff like that, or vice versa. As soon as you're able to establish a good rapport with people, it creates community on stage. You're able to help each other and get through the gig, because that's what it's about.
And that's honestly like that's that next level of musicianship, because it's like there's instrumentalship, whatever that word is. You know what I mean? Well, musicianship is very specifically music, and most people think of their instrument. And I mean, it's not like there's a huge difference between the two.
Instrumentalism.
But like, if you have tunnel vision on your instrument, in other words, Chuck Rainey is one of my favorite bass players. He was in the Wrecking Crew's days.
Okay.
LA bass player, 60s and 70s. He would have played with like Sanford and Son and MASH and that kind of stuff. And he said that the easiest thing, good Lord gave you 2 ears. One's for you, the other's for everyone else. Translation:
wow.
50% of your attention ever
has to be listening.
It has to be on everyone else.
Yeah.
And most people, like you can tell, especially like in church or especially in in-ears gigs, right? Where it's like, oh, I can just be in my own world and have me the loudest and everything else just kind of wherever it is. And I can just kind of play my thing. And it's like most people are quintessentially that, focused 100% on their groove, their pocket, their notes. What key am I in? What's my part? What are my bass lines? What am I singing? And like, yeah, you do have to know that. But it can only ever take up 50% of your attention span. You have 2 ears, which means you can't hear 70, 90% with this one and 10%. Like, no. Half of your attention is here with you. The other half is on everyone. Now, it's not fair. It's not half your attention to the keyboard and half your attention to the drums. It's split up between the whole ensemble, so you can't get all the information.
Yeah.
But I always tell everyone, if you want to know if you're doing a good job of this, of like hearing and because that's a hard thing to teach. How do you teach someone to listen and react and do this kind of stuff? And it's really simple. If you can play your song comfortably enough to where you can start thinking about getting lunch or what you're going to do after rehearsal, like if you can start thinking about what time you need to leave to get to beat traffic, okay, you can do this exercise. You're playing the song, you're playing your bass line, your groove, whatever it is. And instead of thinking about that, just ask yourself, what is the keyboard player doing? What's the guitar player doing? Is the hi-hat open or closed? Which cymbal is he on? You know what I mean? A very simple question. And if you can kind of quickly go, hi-hat's tight. He's on the ride cymbal. Closed voicings on the guitar. Really wide voicings on the piano. He's up high. He's down low. He's somewhere in the middle. Like, I'm not saying you need to be able to tell it's a D over F sharp, second inversion, polyrhythm. Like, you don't have to get that complicated. But if you can't answer basic shit
about what someone else is doing,
who's singing?
Who's singing?
There's 3 vocalists. Which one is it right now?
Meme,
And if there's 3 of them, whose melody?
Yeah.
Who's harmonizing above? Who's harmonizing below? I mean, like, it's not. I'm not saying you need to get that crazy. But if you can do that while you play, you're listening, and now you can start asking. Well, hey, since the hi-hat's tight instead of open, maybe my notes should be short.
More staccato. Yeah.
instead of long. But now he's on the crash. He's riding out. So
Yeah.
maybe I connect my notes
I can open up.
instead
Yeah.
of short.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't get that idea unless I was listening to what the drummer was doing or how the guitar player is comping or
Absolutely.
is it a organ patch where he's going, wah?
Yeah.
Or is it a piano patch? Bang, bang, boom. You know, what's the decay and that kind of stuff. So again, can you learn that stuff? For sure. I just don't think it's in a book.
Yeah.
I don't think it's something you crack open. I think it's just something you play a lot, you listen a lot, and then you realize, these two pieces fit like that. And it's not because you're a genius, it's just because you're listening and you're going, I think these things work.
Yeah.
Let me try.
Absolutely.
No, dang it didn't.
Let's try again.
And that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Right? That's not a talent or it's a skill, I guess, but it's just like, when you screw up, do you stop?
No.
Because you go, oh, that sucked. I'm done.
I made the wrong decision.
Or do you try again? Do you go, oh, no, that wasn't it. Next one. Because I know some people, especially in sessions, when they throw out an idea, you saw it and Get Back. You saw George Harrison just shrink, because like he thought all of his ideas sucked. And I don't want to say they did, but he didn't defend them. And if you don't defend your ideas suck. Right?
Yeah.
If they were good, they would be defendable.
They would be defendable, yeah. And it might take leading the horse to water every once in a while.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. You might need to win the room every once in a while. Be like, this is the right decision, and here's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I mean, once you get to the point where you're able, how do you say that? You want to get to the point where when you have ideas and when you're making contributions that you have the track record that goes along with that of like, well, Jayme suggested this, and Jayme knows his stuff, so we should probably see what he has to say about it. And that's always a good place to be in, and again, that comes from a lot of repetition, a lot of learning, a lot of sometimes making the wrong choice, but getting to the point where, and I think this goes to what you were saying about Phil X and that caliber, you make the right decision and you make it very quickly.
Yes. And that's something that you know what? I learned that from I don't remember the name of the book. I think it's called The Millionaire Next Door. But rich people, man, like billionaires, make fast decisions.
Yep.
While you're sitting there thinking, should I get this printer or this printer for the office? Well, this one's got these features, but this one saves $900. The billionaire went, that one, next.
Yes.
Right? Because however much time you spent looking at that dude makes $200,000 a second. Like, I don't have fucking time for this. That printer. Dude. And if that's not the right one, we'll buy another one. Right?
That part. Yeah. So
making fast decisions and dealing with the recourse of it and having the know-how of just like money, time, that one.
Yeah.
Next.
That's always been a big thing in my life is I think indecision kills more people than bad decisions.
Sure.
If you make a bad decision and realize quickly that it's not the right decision, you can alter, you can adjust course. If you make no decision at all, you are potentially dead. And that's not to say that every decision is life or death, but just simply to say, if you make a bad decision, you can counter pretty quickly, right? But if you make no decision, if you live in indecision all the time, like, well, I don't know, should this be a pop beat? Should this be a disco beat? Try it, put it down, see what happens. If it's the wrong thing, you should be able to feel it, adjust, try again. Or someone else in the room will tell you, right? If we're tying all of this back to music. These are also big life lessons too that you can learn, like being indecisive about pretty much anything. I can't say it ever really benefited anyone. Like, it drives me nuts being in a group of people where there's a bunch of indecision happening. I'm like, I'm going to go that way.
Yeah.
I don't like to be part of it. I want to be able to do something. If we realize it's the wrong course, adjust, but just make a damn decision, please, quickly. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah. That's, and honestly, if there was a skill to reinforce, like, that's the one.
Yeah.
And then the confidence to give it your best.
Yep.
And then also the wisdom to be able to realize, like, yeah, this wasn't the right move.
Yeah.
And that's what's so awesome actually about this show is you watch us throw out ideas. Like, oh, dude, this is so cool. And then seconds later be like,
that was a terrible idea.
That was so not cool.
That was not the right idea.
But I'm not embarrassed by it.
No,
and I'm not like
not.
letting it influence the next time. I'm like, oh, I got an idea. Because if I'm like, oh, but the last time you said that was bad, so maybe I'll shut up. Maybe this isn't a good idea. So it's also like trusting yourself. Like, just because you got it wrong last time doesn't mean you'll get it wrong this time. You need to throw everything out there and see if it sticks. And some people, like, they let that take them down a notch every time, as if like, is if they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's you're not wrong. There's no wrong when you're playing.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, a good friend of mine, Dan Bailey, incredibly accomplished drummer, skilled, like recording, just insane. He was actually talking about that on his Instagram earlier about like someone asked him a question in a Q&A about like, how do you recover if you drop a stick or you miss a lick or you blow a phrase or something like that? And he's like, you have to have the basketball mentality of short-term memory. Every shot you take, forget about it, right?
Yeah.
If you miss it, next shot's going to go in, right?
Yeah.
If you miss that one, next shot's going to go in. You have to kind of be able to reset quickly and have the confidence of like, I'm going to nail this the next time. Hopefully that nail it the next time becomes shorter and shorter and shorter, ideally, right? But yeah, Trent Reznor said it's really easy to hit stuff with the "that sucks" hammer. But what if it's not a bad idea? What if it's just not properly fleshed out yet, right?
Yep. Or it just doesn't have the right tone. It's not in the right key. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of reasons why it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just like, it just doesn't work in today. Come back.
Yeah.
Come back later.
Yeah.
Change the lyric. The right people just aren't in the right room. Like there could be a lot of things. But I'm just saying, like, I know a lot of people take that home with them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my ideas weren't. And like I
it,
said, watch Get Back. You see George. That was like almost 7 or 8 years of him feeling like,
wow,
I'm just not good enough to be in my own band.
Wow.
So for years I always thought Yoko broke up the Beatles. I was like, nah, George did. He left. He left.
That's revolutionary.
He called it quits because
wow,
he couldn't speak up for it. He couldn't defend himself in his own band.
Hang in his own band. Yeah.
Which is funny because he has the best solo album right afterwards. When it all when it all comes out. So he found it.
You're pissing half of the world off right now, and the other half of the world's like, yay!
I'm just saying he found his confidence, but it wasn't with Lennon and McCartney.
Well, he found his confidence when he was the only voice in the room.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know who else was in there. I mean, that was.
But I mean,
Petty
in terms of like,
too,
creatively, he's the artist, so he doesn't have to jockey with 3 other people.
Yeah,
really too. But
sure.
Yeah, about.
Hey, another thing about Get Back. Come on, let it not be. Let's not skip over Ringo's diligence.
Oh, are we talking about Ringo? Or are we?
I don't know.
No, I'm kidding. We're totally talking about Ringo.
But I mean, seriously, that guy showed up.
Yeah,
he did his job. He was not late. He didn't complain. Held everyone together as best he could. I'm just saying, man.
I'm totally kidding, but the funny thing is that we all alluded to that in the first place.
Yeah, of course.
We all knew exactly who we're talking about pretty quickly. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
This whole music thing is wild. I spend a lot of time in transit, right? Like in my car.
Probably most of the time.
Most of the time, and more than most people that I know. I spend so much time in my car or on a plane or something like that. So
can you ever learn? When do you play songs at the drums? Is it only on stage?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I love to practice, but just with the way my life is set up, I don't get the opportunity to practice as much as I would like to. Like I still obsess over the drums, but more of it's just mental these days. But
well, practice time for me just comes on stage.
Yeah.
I don't have time to work on things.
Yeah.
So if I want to work on something, I got to try it on the set tonight.
Yeah. Well, for me, I think I got to make sure that I am mentally in the game if I'm trying to throw in something new, because not to be picky, but if the bass player blows a lick, the band's not going to fall apart.
Yeah.
If I blow a lick, the whole show
and the things
goes
I'm
off
talking
the
about,
rails.
I'm never, when I practice things, I'm not trying bebop licks over country changes, But it's always like, I heard this cool thing. I wonder what that would sound like if I did it.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking all night for a place for it to fit in. And
Yeah.
maybe it does, and maybe it doesn't.
Dude, I've had I mean, I think drummers obsess over fills a lot. There's very rarely like a groove that I'm like, oh, I'm going to try this groove and it didn't work, and that's fine. But it's usually fills and stuff like that. And I've had gigs where I'm thinking about this one fill in this one song out of a 40 song set, and like we get to the point where this fill is going to happen, and I totally blow it. And it's the most frustrating thing. There's also been times where I've nailed it and I'm just like, yes, because I was imagining it. But yeah, most of my game these days is mental in terms of thinking about, learning songs. When I'm learning songs, I very rarely learn them on the hit. It's usually me charting something out or just listening to it extensively and kind of plotting out in my head, like, okay, this is, most songs are very formulaic in terms of what I do. You got intro, verse 1, pre-chorus, chorus 1. You
When
know,
am I
like
in? When am I out?
when
What
am
are
I
the
in? When
hits?
am I out?
What's the kick
Yeah,
pattern?
when am I? What's the kick pattern? Also, for any drummers out there who maybe are a little bit newer to the art, please focus on your kick patterns. That is the number one thing that can turn you into a first call drummer overnight, is just having solid kick patterns.
What I was talking about a
important.
second ago, when you're like, oh, and you're playing, you're like, oh yeah, what's going on? That's what I would always ask a bass player.
Yeah.
Like, what's the kick pattern?
Yeah.
If you can't, and I'm not saying if he stops playing the bass and that, no. Keep playing. I told you, like, you're playing and you're
Yeah.
asking questions. The question is, what's the kick pattern?
What's the kick pattern?
So
And am I
while you're
matching it?
playing your line, if you can't bum, if you can't tell me what the kick pattern is while you're playing it, I don't think you know what the kick pattern is.
You're not locked in.
I don't think you know what the kick pattern
And
is.
dude, having a grounded kick pattern and bass following it's the meat and potatoes. It really is. It really is. What was the question? I forgot what I was going to say.
I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
You're
We
talking
tend to go down
about
rabbit trails.
something
just
with drummers.
spending time in transit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just thinking about the ridiculousness of what it is that we do, especially when you turn the thing that was an obsessive pursuit into your job.
Something happens, when a hobby becomes a livelihood,
Mm-hmm.
because you can't just do it for the fun of it anymore.
No.
Because you might lose your house and your wife and everything.
All of the above, honestly. It's
very bad
true.
things can happen if you just say yes to everything you want to do.
Yeah.
So, like, you can play for fun. You could do the cover band, the tribute band, the thing. But when you start paying your bills and you start looking at it like a business and you start making business decisions and not just fun decisions, then the hobby takes on a different, just a different role, I guess.
Absolutely.
And you have to take steps to make sure you don't go bankrupt, but then also make sure you don't become like jaded and hate your job, because most people hate their jobs, but you're self-employed. So you employ yourself. You hate your job means you hate your boss, you hate yourself, and you hate what you do. I thought you liked this. You see how quickly this is like you made terrible
the 6
business
degrees
decisions.
of separation from hell. My
yeah,
God.
This is a bad business decision, right? So like you need to make sure you love it.
Yeah.
And you're enjoying it and you're making money and it gets you more gigs and it makes you more fun. And then like that's the circle you want to be in. Not, oh, I hate this shit and I can't wait to get out of this bar.
Yeah. And
like,
I've had gigs like that are full-time gigs that are, I'll say like, I don't know, theme park, something like that. But,
yeah, something like that.
Where the gig itself is not necessarily the issue, but it's the repetition of doing the same thing in the same place.
Yeah. So in a theme park gig, what do you like? What's a typical day? Say it like Knott's, a Magic Mountain, a Disneyland, one of those. Like what's it like?
So you would, for me, where I live, I'm pretty far removed from most things. So pretty much, I have a time tax that's always associated with my career driving.
Yeah.
I'm always driving. So it's
that's why I turned that gig down.
So it's about an hour commute, and I'm not saying this to disparage the gig. I've always appreciated the gigs that I've had, but for me, I've just realized over time that I like to have the freedom to be out and about and playing with different people and doing more things, and then I get to come back to that thing, and I enjoy it for a day or two, and then I get to go back out and do something else. So that's more what I'm speaking to. But a typical day is like I would drive an hour and a half sometimes if it's not great. You get there, you park, you walk in, you clock in, you have some prep time at the top to get dressed, to warm up a little bit, and then you have 6 shows.
Are they doing hair and makeup for you? Or you
no, depends on the show. My first theme park show, I had full wig. I had to do a full face.
As I say, the Mad Party Band was definitely full makeup.
Yeah, it was. That was full beat, dude. And oh man, I remember doing that gig, and we'd get 2 songs in, and I've got mascara running in my eyes, and I'm like trying to play Pretender from the Foo Fighters.
Shit's
while
hard,
I'm, like,
dude.
Crying makeup, dude. Like it's not easy. It's not easy. That was definitely one of the more extreme cases of wardrobe. But the other show that I do is more of a jazz show, and we have some interesting colored costumes, but. You play 6 sets throughout the day, and then once you're done, you get in the car and you drive home. I always like the fact that I never had to bring anything for
Not
those
even
gigs.
sticks?
Not even sticks, dude.
They have
Everything
everything.
was provided, and after you do that full time for 2.5 years, you get kind of spoiled.
Yeah.
And so when I went back to doing like primarily freelance work, I realized, like, dude, my stick bill. Like, I mean, seriously, my
Yeah.
stick bill is what, because I mean, you've played with me for a
Yeah,
decade.
it's
I'm a
gnarly.
pretty hard hitter.
Yeah.
When I want to be, you know,
Uh-huh.
like if the song is light or I'm playing jazz, whatever, I'll pull it back, you know, be appropriate. But my favorite stuff, I get to hit as hard as I freaking can and
Mhm.
hard as I want. But dude, my stick bill by itself, and I don't know if you know, dude, but like a typical pair of sticks these days is
$20?
15.
Yeah.
But I mean, when I started playing drums, it was 5 to 7. You know
Wow.
what I mean? Like when I first started buying sticks for myself, it was $5 to $7, and now it's, you know, and somebody might scoff at like, oh, $15, that's not bad. I can go through 2 pair on one gig.
Yeah.
It gets to the point where
Yeah,
I'm
you gotta cut it.
factoring my sticks
Uh-huh.
and my fuel and my food into my rate.
And they're all about the same. You're like, what the fuck?
Honestly, dude, yeah. The meal cost me $30, the gas cost me $30, and the sticks cost me
When
30
did that
bucks.
happen? Yeah.
Inflation, I guess. But yeah, dude, it gets pretty cush when you don't have to bring. You could ride a motorcycle to that gig and be fine.
I was thinking that I've played 3 drum shows here in town,
which I love, dude. I love that you're doing
since
that.
I moved to Vegas. I've only played 1 show on bass,
Okay.
and 3 shows on drums. 4 shows in 6 years.
That's
I'm
how-
doing really good. I retired when I moved here.
You're the pickiest freelance musician I've ever met in my
so
life,
bad.
dude. It's
I'm
so
so
funny.
bad.
Like,
I'm so
I'll say
horrible.
yes to most things. If you meet my rate, I'll probably say yes. And Jamie's like, 4 gigs, 5 gigs in 6 years.
I
Yeah.
say yes depending on who's calling, right? So there are
Yeah,
some
that's
there are
fair.
some
That's
phones
fair.
that when they ring, it's just, yeah, the answer is yes.
Yes, yeah, that's
that
true.
Nashville show I was telling you about that I'm
Yeah.
playing next week. Like, yeah, the answer is yes. I have no idea how much it's paying.
I feel that
Probably
way.
nothing.
If you call
I'm
me,
fine.
which you've called me for a few things, like if you call me, the answer is probably going to be yes.
Yeah,
Like,
if I'm not booked,
yeah,
yeah.
unless there's something that the reason that I can't do
Yeah.
it. If you're hitting me up, I'm probably saying yes. So yeah,
Yeah.
I totally get that. There are certain people, and it like what you were saying earlier. It goes the same thing for passion projects. You know, I have friends that are like, dude, I can't pay a lot, but I'm like, I like what you do. And
Yeah.
we're friends, whatever. You know, make exceptions, but yeah, overall.
Well, I'm just saying, yeah, the drum gigs I've done here, I'm down to 3 sticks. I had 5.
That's right.
And then after like I brought like 5 sets of sticks, and then like after the second gig, I'm down to just like 2 or 3 sticks now. And it dawned on me in the last show, I was like, oh no, if I break one of these,
I
I'm
don't have
screwed. I
these
only have
sticks.
1 stick. So my first thought wasn't like, oh man, these things are like 15 or 20 bucks. I got to go buy more. My first thought was like, well, fuck, I need a stick deal, man. I'm not buying this shit.
Dude, I'm in that. You're playing 5 gigs in 6 years, dude. I'm playing 5 gigs a week.
I know.
I really need a stick. Like, dude, if anybody's watching it, I really need a stick deal. Like this shit.
Come talk to me. We'll make it.
This
happen.
sucks. Like it is such a thing, and that I forgot. Honestly, I forgot. But I mean, I will legitimately go through 10 to 15 pair a month.
Dude, that's wild. For me, that's what it was with strings. I haven't played shows. This is gonna make me sound so spoiled. It's the same thing. Like you didn't have to bring your own sticks.
Yeah.
You know, the last time I changed strings on any bass was in 2019.
Wow.
So like I've played more than 6 shows. That's just the ones here in town.
Yeah.
I still play, but when I play, I backline a bass. The artist has to rent one. I don't
Yeah.
fly with instruments anymore.
Yeah.
Or like I do demo videos all the time.
Yeah.
So whichever bass got shipped this week, and there's like 2 or 3 every month that come in.
And that's what's going.
That's what I do my sessions on.
Yeah.
That's what I play the shows
100%,
with.
yeah.
If I have to take a bass,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, this one's got the freshest strings, so I'll
Yep.
just take that one.
I'm the same way.
So
I mean,
I don't have to change them.
yeah, most of my gigs are fly dates and the client's providing backline.
Yeah,
which
why would
includes
you wanna
cymbals.
travel? That's so
I
stupid.
hate
Yeah.
even I know so many drummers that are like, no, I have to bring my snare, I have to bring my cymbals, I have to bring my pedal. I understand it, but I'm very much just like, I'm just gonna be able to I'm gonna create whatever I need to create on whatever's available. It's gonna be fine. So usually I will just travel with sticks. That being said, I've had kind of the same situation where I'm like, yeah, I have 1 show, I'll bring 3 fresh pair with me. And then that's when you realize, oh, 2 of those are duds.
Yeah.
Immediately, you get 8 bars in, and one of them's broken. I'm like, crap.
Filled with firecrackers.
I have basically, you get down to like 1 solid pair and 1 spare, and I have 90 minutes to get through.
Yep.
it can be a bit nerve-wracking. I've had that same thought cross my
Yeah, I
mind.
think you can see them. They're held together with duct tape, and they're somewhere
Oh
around
my
here.
God. I will leave you a pair of sticks. You need some sticks, dude.
No,
You can't
no.
have all of these drums set up and not have any sticks to play
Well,
them
that's the
with.
thing, though. Drummers always bring their
But
sticks.
what if
But
you want to hit?
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, I do. I haven't been practicing lately, but for a solid like 2 months straight, I was coming in here every day and playing linoleum.
Oh,
My goal is to be able to play it at tempo. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, I
I
love
can
it.
do it. I just can't keep it up the whole time, and so my right foot, my kick will drag. So instead of the double, do ba 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 ba,
Yeah.
I'll switch it to do da 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 da.
And we've had
Just
that whole
one
conversation.
quick
Yeah.
skate instead
Yeah.
of both of them.
And really for all the punk fans out there, the right is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is that for me, that is the correct skate punk kick pattern.
Yes, absolutely.
This has always
It's
been
fine.
It's fine, but I always sort of like grimaced a little bit when I would hear it because it's never as clean.
That's funny. Is like, yeah, so like No Effects, Lagwagons. In my opinion, it was always like the real punk bands could
Yeah.
do the real beat,
Yeah.
and then like the Christian punk bands had to simplify.
Funny enough, I disagree.
No?
Well, actually,
Okay, Dogwood didn't.
Dude, Slick
Dogwood-
Shoes.
Yeah, Slick Shoes didn't either.
Joe Nixon was like
Yeah.
so clean with it. In my opinion, one of the best.
I'm thinking
punk
more like
drummers.
MXPX, but they were barely.
MXPX. Yuri was. I mean, I would never consider Yuri a punk drummer. He's a great drummer.
They got categorized as a punk band because they put stickers on
They're
everything.
early.
Yeah. You know?
That's all it takes.
Yeah,
you put stickers all over all your shit. Yeah, you're a punk band, 100%.
Yeah, you're a punk band. Spiked here too.
That's actually funny.
That's
Love
all they do.
MXPX. Yeah, but I don't know. Yuri was one of the few drummers that I felt like could play other stuff and make it sound good. Because some of the
Yeah.
best punk drummers, that's all they could play. You know.
Yeah, I always admired Trey Cool, man. Even today, when I listen to like Nimrod's one of my favorite records.
Yeah.
And what I love about Trey, like for punk drummers, it was always about getting the punk beat and getting the circle pick going. And then the fills were always the same.
Yeah,
Like
16th notes everywhere.
Some level of
Yeah.
16th notes.
Yep.
All 16 of
Oh,
them. And like Trey, you know, yeah, his fills would be unique, but his drums always had parts to them.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of what's Nice Guys Finish Last. Nice Guys Finish Last. King, king, king. Like he always goes to the bell right there, right?
Yeah.
King, king, king. Like whatever he's doing, it wasn't just play a beat and hold it while the song moves forward. There would always be this transitions to that. We hit this a couple of times, and then we get into the punk beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just found him he's a very creative punk drummer.
Yeah,
Him,
dude.
Travis Barker, and I always thought, what's his name? The drummer from Strung Out too.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember the original drummer.
Yeah, the original drummer. He was fast.
he was
real fast.
great, dude. Yeah, dude, Strung Out live at Chain Reaction is still one
Yeah.
of my favorite.
Dude,
live punk
I
bands.
love. Is Chain Reaction still there?
Chain Reaction is still there. Like
Excellent.
they saved it. It was down to the 11th hour. It was going away, and somebody busted up a charitable donation or somebody bought it out.
For anyone that doesn't
but
know,
it still exists. And
Chain
I'm
Reaction
so
is like
grateful.
Anaheim's CBGB.
Yes.
This is a hole in the wall punk rock club.
Yeah, it is. And I don't feel like the Southern California scene would be that without Chain Reaction.
Well, skater punk, it was pioneered in Southern California.
Yeah.
That was the place to be. Have you never been to the Punk Rock Museum here in town?
I have
you?
not.
I'm wearing the shirt right now.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
maybe
fuck
we
yeah,
can
dude.
make a pilgrimage while
We
I'm out
totally
here.
should. It's one of the places we go, like when people come into town, we're just
Yeah.
looking for something to do to kill a day. Because they got a lot of cool stuff there. There's like a downstairs exhibit, which is always the same, and it's mostly like flyers and just the history of punk rock.
Yeah.
They've got Pennywise's garage.
Dude.
They ripped out the garage, garage door as well. It's the garage that Pennywise
Started in,
they just
Dude,
rehearsed
that's
in.
awesome.
And they do concerts there. So they roll up the garage door and there's a PA system and a bunch of amps, and like punk bands will just do
I love
concerts
it.
there. And then on the second floor, they used to there's a tattoo parlor. There used to be a wedding chapel, but I think now it's an art exhibit. And then they have a jam room upstairs. So there's a room like maybe twice this size with
Yeah.
just a rotation of guitars and amps. Anyone can just plug in and just start
Just
jamming
play.
and playing.
I think we should
Yeah,
go to that while we're
it's
here.
wild. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We should go to that and we should film it and make a
Yeah,
make a piece
and
out of it. That'd
that's
be
the whole
fun.
thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's plenty of content to get there.
Dude, that's rad.
Lemmy is there. There's a whole exhibit
Oh,
of Lemmy clothing and some of his
nice.
amps and
Yeah.
guitars. But there's a bullet that at his funeral, everyone that attended Lemmy's funeral was given a bullet with his ashes put inside
No
instead of
way.
the gunpowder.
That's cool.
Yeah, so
That's
there's
oh
one
my
of
God.
Lemmy's at
Again,
the
so
museum.
punk rock, dude. That's so badass. I love that. Wow. I had no idea that that was the case. That's so
Yeah.
cool. Do you ever think about, and I think about this a lot because being a freelance, working musician, I find myself in every imaginable scenario of music. Like one night I'll be playing jazz or big band, and then the next night I'm playing top 40, and then I'll be playing like some contemporary Christian music, and then the next night I'm doing a K-pop session.
Yeah, a little bit of
And
everything.
I bounce around, but my origins, funny enough, are metal and punk. And it shocks people to hear that when I tell them, because especially people that I play with that don't know my background, they're like, I would never imagine that you're into that. And I'm like, that's just what I grew up on, and
Yeah.
especially because when I was younger, I mean, I have so much love for hip hop now and rap now, but I just never heard real drums on those records.
Hmm.
So I always gravitated to like rock, because that had real
As opposed to program, yeah.
as opposed to program. And now I see the beauty of programming and how cool it is to be able to recreate programming on an acoustic kit, to do it
Yeah.
live. But when I was a kid, my ear always gravitated toward like real in the room instruments. And so that's kind of what got me into punk and metal. And it's still so funny to have those conversations with people after I just came off of a 3-hour gig of playing Pink and Chapel Roan covers and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
suddenly I'm like, oh yeah, no, I've been obsessed with Slick Shoes and No
Rancid.
Effects, and yeah, since I was a kid, literally since yeah, dude,
Rancid.
literally since elementary school, and people were like, I would have never guessed that. So
Yeah.
I think I love my punk roots, man. I'm something I'm very
Me
proud of.
too. You know what? For me, my philosophy of music, like I said, I performed music for a long time. Now I play music because
Mhm.
music is fun.
Yeah,
Music is fill in the blank.
yeah.
What word would you put there?
Um. Wow. Pursuit.
I'll take it.
I don't know, man. Obsession. Like I have. Do you finish your thought, and then I'll
Well,
piggyback on
all
that.
I'm saying is for me, music is fun,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you could have chosen any word that's like, yeah, beautiful, awesome, like anything that's enjoyable. But if you said like music is responsibility or music is a job or music is like as it starts to
Mm,
get further and further away from
from fun.
fun,
Yeah.
I think you're missing the point. And the cool thing about punk rock is everyone's invited. And I know like
Interesting.
inclusivity is like all the thing right now, but I don't mean like everyone's allowed to be in a punk band. I mean literally like the bar is so low, you could be like, I don't play anything. And your punk band's like, we need a bass player. You want in?
Yeah.
Cool, you're in.
You don't play bass. You've never picked up an instrument
Yeah.
before. Let's go.
Like
Yeah.
you don't need to be good enough musically to be in a punk band. Here's what you need. The only thing if you want to be included in punk rock is this. You have to be able to say fuck you. Now, I don't care
Yes,
who you
dude.
say fuck you to.
Two. Yeah.
Is it mom and dad?
Uh
Is it
huh.
school? Is it the
Yeah.
church?
The
Is it the
authority.
government?
Yeah.
I don't care. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care, but you
Yeah.
have to be able to say, you know what? Fuck this and fuck you and fuck all of it. One, two, three, four. Like
Yeah.
that's punk rock.
Yeah.
And you don't need to be great. You don't need to be young. You
I
don't need to
love
be
that.
old. You just have to be able to say fuck you. And anyone can do that.
Yes.
And you don't have to say the F word either. You can say it the way you
Dude, you
want
can
to
say
say.
whatever you want.
But you know what
But
I mean? Like
yes, you're right.
that's punk
That
rock.
is the spirit of punk rock.
Everyone's invited as
Yes.
long as you can if you're down with the ethos of
Yeah.
like, let's just burn it. Let's just tear it to the
Yeah.
ground.
And have
Let's
a fun
just
time doing it.
deconstruct.
Yeah. Yeah. I love
So
that.
yeah, for me, that's like that's my favorite thing about punk rock is like not anyone can do it, but almost anyone's invited to participate if you if you can get angry enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Man, I love that. I think what I was gonna say was when I said pursuit, like what does music mean to me? I still have this thing where like, yeah, music pays for my bills. Music's how I support my family. But all of I mean, at this point, I guess I can say success. I feel like I'm doing okay. Uh,
Nah, you're making it. You only
yeah.
got 4 kids. You don't have a day job.
I'm playing music
Some
for a living and
some
traveling.
some
It's pretty
people would
fun.
consider that you're doing all
Yeah,
right.
I'm doing
40
okay.
shows a year
But
worldwide. Yeah,
yeah,
you're making it.
and that's with one band. I play with 9. Uh, swear, dude. I think,
One band for every child.
dude,
There you go.
I'm 2 bands for every child at this rate. Actually, yeah, that's the one we've talked about tonight. But I have 8 others.
Oof.
But I wanted to say, like, any monetary success that I've had in my life it's never been the goal.
Mm,
And I feel like I think we talked about this when it was me, you, and Jason. And it's like it's always been the byproduct of the pursuit that is this thing of music.
sure.
Now I realize that I have a bar that I need to meet to make sure that I'm handling my responsibilities since I've made this my profession. But for the most part, I mean, it's always just been me chasing after being better at what it is that I do and being able to create bigger opportunities to do that thing.
Mm,
And that has been the success part of it for me, or stability part, has just been a byproduct of the I'm just fucking obsessed with this thing. I
yeah.
love this thing. And I still love this thing. I love drums every time I sit down. And I mean, I'm pushing 40, dude. I have aches and pains every time I sit down behind the kit.
You
I'm
and me
playing
both.
6 days a week, swinging my arms at stupid tempos.
Yeah.
And sometimes it hurts, but I still love this thing, dude,
Yeah.
so much. I still love this thing. And
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything else. And that's why I
yeah,
say, like, yeah, for me, that's why I feel like the word fun. Music is fun. Because I
yeah,
wouldn't do that for anything else other than fun. Maybe love,
yeah.
yeah, I would show up for a family. I would crawl over broken glass. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's only a
the
handful of
country
things.
tropes. Yeah.
There's only a handful of things that fit that whatever
Yeah.
category.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say, yeah, for me that's fun.
Mhm.
I would pay a lot of money to go on vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would pay a lot of money to play music, and that is what gets the professional in trouble. When I was talking about a second ago, when we were like, when your hobby becomes your livelihood,
Mhm.
that's what you need to get careful of. Because I'll do this if you pay me or if you don't,
Yeah.
and that will get me taken advantage of.
That is true.
They can smell that. They can smell
Yes.
that a mile away. Like, oh, this guy's having so much fun.
We should underpay him.
And they may not even be consciously choosing
Yeah.
to do that, but they
Yeah.
just know that you're gonna. They
There's
know that they
there's a
can.
certain part of happy to be here that you have to put away in
Yep.
the interest of having it be a business pursuit. That is
Yeah.
very true. Dave Weckl talked about that. He was joking because he said that he had some sessions or some tours or whatever that he had turned down because the rate was too low. And then he would have students that were like, dude, I'll do it for, pennies on the dollar. And he was like, number one, no, you won't.
No, you won't.
Because you short selling it like that ruins it for all of us.
Yep.
And number two, if that's going to be your pursuit, then I wouldn't recommend you in the first place.
Right.
So I thought that was a very interesting take, but it's a very real take. Value yourself. That is, and I don't, for me, it's not an easy conversation. It's always the gunslinger thing of like, what's your rate? Like, what's your budget? And
I have an easy way of doing it.
what is your, and are you going to tell me that
Yeah,
it's,
I'll tell you my rate.
go for
My
it.
rate is free. I'll play the music for free
I've heard this
always.
one. Yeah.
You pay me for everything
Everything
else,
else,
bitch.
learning it.
Everything. The travel, the
travel,
layover,
the-
the layover. How long's the flight? I'm sleeping on a floor. I'm sharing
Denver airport.
I'm sharing a room, like whatever, like because it's not going to be perfect. It's
Yeah.
not going to be private jet, first
Yeah.
class, your own hotel room,
Never that.
your own taxi, air conditioning, like whatever.
It will be my own hotel room.
Okay,
That
okay.
part,
Yeah, yeah.
that is a non-negotiable. There are very few extremes where I will accept having to share. At a certain age, dude,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
just don't want to have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
share hotel rooms with people.
But that's
the
what I
only
mean.
thing. Yeah,
That's what I mean. Like that's the stuff that I charge for.
yeah,
That's I call it the bullshit. But the
Yep.
music, I got to do that part for free. I can't charge
That's
it for
fair.
it. But it's everything else
Everything
before
else
and after.
Yep.
From when I left the house to when I get home, like
Yeah.
that's what you're paying me for.
I like that.
And I charge top dollar for all of that.
For all of that, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You will be paying me
Yeah,
for all of that.
yeah,
All of
yeah,
that
yeah.
crap sucks.
But like, yeah, that's how I rationalize it in my head. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, like, yeah, I start to feel bad because I've done gigs where I made no money,
hmm
and then I've done gigs where we won a reality show. We got $25,000 for 90 seconds.
Yeah.
So what's my hourly?
hmm
I sold a song to TV and film What's my hourly? That only took me 4 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
it's too hard for me to calculate what is the value of the music.
I think the hourly thing you start looking beyond that
Yeah, you
because
have to.
you absolutely
Yeah.
have to. You absolutely have to. Rates are always a touchy subject, and I feel like it always comes up, and I have people that ask me all the time how do you establish your rate? And I there's a certain part of me that really wants to just have a number that I give, and it's like take it or leave it, but there's more gray area than that.
And that number keeps going up over the years.
It has to
Yeah.
because my bills keep going up over the years.
Mhm.
But also, not only do my bills keep going up, I think that my skill set becomes more valuable over the years. And I have to approach it that way too. The product that I provide
Yeah.
becomes more desirable and more valuable because of what I am able to contribute. So,
Right.
because of that, yeah, my rate should go up.
Mhm.
Right? I mean, I can't keep charging $150 for every gig. You don't make any money at that point, and you're driving everywhere.
Right. Yeah, yeah, and then you have to start running it like a business. So, like, uh, what's the better way? Do less shows, charge more, or
Yeah.
McDonald's do more shows, charge less,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because a million hamburgers for $1 is $1 million.
That is
But then you got to
true.
sell a million burgers.
Yeah. Did you do 1 million gigs for $1? And how many miles did
Right.
you put on your
Yeah,
car and
exactly.
your body doing those
Yeah.
gigs? Yeah.
And so that's the hardest thing about being a gigging musician is, factoring all that stuff in. I was talking to a friend, not too long ago. He was really bummed because he had a gig that was paying $600 for like a single acoustic guitar at a nice restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Good money for one person split one way.
Yeah, that's not
That's
bad.
pretty
For a
heavy.
night, yeah.
But he lost it, and he picked up another gig for 300. So you're like, fuck, man, half rate.
Yeah.
You can't not feel that
It hits.
that
It does.
knife.
It
And so
hits.
he was really bumming on it. I was like, well, how far away was the $600 gig? Well, it was an hour and a half, so 3 hours of drive in total. How far away is the $300 gig? Oh, it's only 45 minutes. Bro, you saved 2 hours. That's all I heard. All I heard is 2 hours less in the car, 2
Yeah.
hours less of gas. Is it going to offset the $300? I don't know, but in my head it does
A
because the
little
music
bit,
is
yeah.
free.
Yeah.
The travel, do the numbers, like, yeah, you're making out. It's the same pay. It's
Interesting.
the same pay. You're gone
Interesting.
less.
That's a
so
good
it's
way
the
to look
same
at it.
pay.
Yeah, I like that.
You
I
know.
like that. Yeah. I mean, that's not an easy one.
But then again, like, yeah, like you're gone the same amount of time. Like, I need to bring in 600 a night, not 300 a night.
Yeah.
Because now after 5 nights, I'm half of what it needs to be.
Yes. Well,
So
that was the big thing for me going from, again, doing the full-time theme park thing, which I did kind of at the time for stability. Our family was growing and whatnot. But when I stopped doing that and went back to freelance, I realized that I was making the same amount of money, if not more, but I was doing it in 2 to 3 days instead of 5. And
yes,
that was where I started to realize how freaking valuable the time is. You know, my soul's not dying on the freeway. I'm
Yeah.
not paying $150 a week in tolls
Mhm.
because that all eats away from your pocket. The gas, the everything.
Which is why, yeah, I don't charge by the hour. I don't charge for my time. When I'm working with someone and they're asking me, like, yeah, I'm more expensive than the average bear. But what you're going to get with me, I'm not going to rehearse. You're not going to get me for rehearsals. Like, I cost too much to rehearse. But trust me, when I show up, it'll be better than if you'd done rehearsal with someone that you paid less.
Yeah.
Or paid at all. Because what I'm going to bring to the show, trust me, I'll be prepared. It'll be ready. What you're going to get is better than if you had hired someone to be there for this and for that and for that.
Yeah.
Like, trust me, you're actually going to spend less with me, not just in money, but also in time. And the end
worry
result,
and stress.
trust me, you're
will be
really,
better.
really going to like it.
Yeah.
And if you don't trust me, don't hire me.
Yeah.
But everyone who ever has will not call me a liar.
Multiple rehearsals
You know what I mean?
suck.
Yeah.
Multiple rehearsals for a single hit they're not fun.
Yeah, for a one-off, who
Yeah,
cares?
the
It's
majority
ridiculous.
of the work, 90% of the work that I do is no rehearsal.
Yeah.
You get a song list, you learn said song list, you show up and play
A
the song
tour,
list.
I will rehearse for a tour for sure.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
but for one-off gigs,
yeah,
never.
like a major production rehearsals, I understand that. But like you said, for a one-off, nah. Like,
I just tell them, you can't afford me. Trust me. Just get me there at the show. I'll show up 2 hours later or early. You're not going to miss anything.
not only is it annoying, it's often not necessary.
Completely.
And you hit a point of diminishing returns.
Well, if you think about it, what they want is just to feel comfortable.
They want to feel comfortable.
So what makes them feel comfortable? Oh, I did 2 or 3 nights and like, it's getting there. Or just knowing I paid the right guy. oh, the band that we got coming in,
It's
they're
gonna be
so
insane.
good.
Yeah.
I don't need to worry about anything.
Mhm.
What do you think brings more comfort?
Yeah.
It's
That part.
that one.
Yeah.
Now that one costs, which is why I don't work a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, every artist that I've played with that wants to do multiple rehearsals leading up to a gig, it's never for the band.
No, it's for them.
It's for them.
Yeah.
Which I understand, especially if you're the one that's cutting the check. I understand.
You need to feel comfortable. Yeah.
However, it's not for me.
Mm-mm.
You're not gauging whether or not I've learned your music. As a matter of fact, when I show up, I'm usually grading you on whether or not you know your music.
Exactly.
And you don't.
Yeah. Well, because I'll do something that's on the record and they'll look at you and be like, that was really cool. Did you come up with that?
No, it was on the record.
No, you're just not paying attention is what that is.
That's funny. That's funny.
Well, dude, we should wrap this up because
what time is it?
It's 11:30, man.
Oh,
we got 2 more days of recording.
Yeah.
All sorts of nonsense going on. I'm really looking forward to it.
So
man.
am I, dude. It's gonna be so rad.
If people want to get in touch with you, if they want to see where you're at, what are you doing? Where do they find you?
That's a good question. Mainly, I think my main social media is Instagram.
It is.
Which you hate me because it's not my actual name.
It's not?
No, it's my first name. It's Keynon KeyNon.IRL, which is a joke.
In real life.
Which is a joke because nothing on social media is real.
No,
so it's just kind of tongue in cheek. That is my main way to see what I'm doing. I try to keep current with some stuff that I'm doing. And if you need a drummer and want to contact me, you can hit me up there. I have a Facebook page, Keynon McBurney Drums. I'll post some stuff over there.
You know what I'll do at the beginning of this episode when we're just talking? I'll splice in some 15-second, 10-second clips of what we've recorded over the next couple of days.
Cool.
So anyone who hasn't gotten a chance to hear you by this point, they know you by now.
Well, cool. Yeah. So that's actually, I know we're trying to wrap this up, but that's actually a funny point is that some of the guys that I know who are working the most and traveling the most and have resumes are people that you've never heard of. Like the average working musician who is playing and excelling 5-6 nights a week, nobody knows who they are.
Yep.
They don't have endorsements. They don't have big anything, but they are consistently working.
Because they're too busy working.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to put myself in that category, but it's just.
I don't mean that as a bad thing.
Yeah.
I mean that as I wish I was that busy working.
I just keep my nose to the grindstone. Hats off to the guys that really know how to wrangle social media to create some presence, because I think that is a skill into itself, and one that, to be honest, I have not mastered, and you've been berating me about for a decade.
Is a very important skill, I think.
It is.
Yes.
I think you're right, and someone who I know that's very accomplished said social media these days is just the modern day business card.
Yeah.
People, if anyone mentions your name as a recommendation, the first thing that people are going to do is go and look at your social media and see if you're capable of doing the thing that they want you to do.
Yep.
So, but anyway, that's where I'm at.
No, it's important, dude.
Yeah.
Well, anyone who wants to find you, hire you, we'll have details.
Hey,
they can click
I'm
on
always
it down
available unless I'm not.
Which is a lot. You're busy all the fucking time, dude. You're gone 40 shows, 40 weeks a year.
That does not mean that you shouldn't reach out if you need your